So, Jonathan, can you just kind of explain how it came about?
Well, I've been working in Soho for about 6 years, and I wanted to make a film quite a long time. Me and Gavin met on a documentary we made in Chernobyl, and we wanted to make a film.
Here, I think.
And we were talking about various projects, and I was writing various scripts, but they kind of didn't work. So I started writing stuff closer to home, and I just decided I wanted to write something in Soho, because Soho is so it's a very effervescent, exciting place, full of characters, and it seemed pretty obvious to make a film there. So I started writing, and it kind of came very naturally, very quickly.
So how long did it take for you to make this movie?
It was about 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah. Now it's finished.
And so, what was the hardest part in making this movie?
Every little bit, I'd say.
Watching it tonight.
Yeah, it's quite. I don't know. Probably the shoot. I mean, it's extremely difficult to shoot in a. We had a lot of locations. We're shooting in quite a restricted time period. Logistically, it was extremely difficult. That was probably the hardest thing.
So what was the most enjoyable part of it? Of
working with these guys. Yeah. I mean, hanging out with these people and just kind of being involved in a creative process. It was hard but fun. I think that was the best thing for me. Sure. Yeah. What about you?
Well, on my part, there was the idea that there are so many nationalities in the film, and it's really representative to Soho. And like the end, I don't know if you expect what's going to happen in the film when you watch it, but that's the whole thing with it. There were so many different characters, different backgrounds, and just working with everybody. That was really cool. I don't know what you.
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing about surprising the atmosphere of Soho. It's all about. There's a line in the film where someone says, "Where are the English?" I think they're gone on holiday. There are only foreigners here. You?
Me? Yeah. It was a response to the question, what did I enjoy most about it? Just the collaborative experience, I think. Just being able to, no strings attached, low budget filmmaking allows you to not have any restrictions. There's no one telling you, you can't do this, you can't do that. You just do what you want.
And it's very nice to spend money as well.
So how much did it cost?
It was 20 grand.
20 grand?
Yeah.
That's pretty good going, right? Do you think?
Most of that was on party funds.
Did you have any problems in shooting on location?
Yeah. I mean, it's endless. You try shooting in the streets of Soho, and you're just surrounded by people who are scratching the balls and doing this and looking generally uncinematic. So you have to have an enormous amount of patience and shoot a lot. Like 50 takes for one shot. So yeah, it just takes time.
So how did you get the cast together?
We just did. Some of the people in the film are non-actors, people I knew, friends, who had a cinematic quality about them, and the actors.
Andrea we knew before.
Yeah, Andrea was the first person involved actually. I persuaded her, and that's what started the film actually. And the JB and David, we had a casting session to cast those two characters, and from that casting session actually we got all the other actors in the film, because you can't in London you can't put a casting call out for an actor you're not going to pay, so we didn't have enough money to pay everybody, so we paid the several two actors and then asked everybody else to do it for free, and they kindly said yes.
It was a pretty amazing way, like very stylistic and black and white, sort of like 1950s kind of shooting. Was that intentional?
The 1950s thing wasn't intentional, no. I mean, people think it's, I think a few people have said it's kind of French New Wave, and I'm not sure I see that. We were trying to do that, but we did it in black and white for a specific reason, and that was mainly because we couldn't control the colour. You know, colour's quite an important thing for us, I think, for Gavin, and you know, on a low budget you can't control colour, so we took it out of the equation, shot it black and white.
Yes, the cheapest art director you can get, money you can buy, and it's free. Everything looks good in black and white. You know?
Yeah, I mean, you know, as soon as you turn the camera on in black and white, it looks good. You know, so you can't lose.
Okay, any questions from the audience? Yes, sir.
And obviously, making that first feature film is a massive thing. What would you say was the biggest thing you learned from the experience which you take into another project, perhaps?
Well, the very first thing I concluded was never do it again, but I've changed my mind since then. I don't know. God, that's a very good question. There's so many different things. I guess get more money and get other people to do the job. You know, I edited the film. I would never do that again. That's not, I wouldn't recommend that to anybody. Just recommend a feature film.
Do it again.
Commit suicide.
Well, I think she wants it. Oh, what's the question? Sorry. No.
Any other question? Any other
I'm
question?
interested in how storyboarded you guys were before you started it, because some of the shots just seem so surprising and almost like you must have just found them there.
Yeah,
and
we
other
did,
ones
most
look
of them.
more planned. I'm just really interested in how much you knew what you were doing, obviously.
We didn't really know what we were doing.
That's a good question. You knew exactly what we were doing all the time. No, that's right. Some of them were actually, we did actually shoot while we were going along, but some of them were a bit more choreographed with tracking shots and stuff like that through the bar. You know, we knew we had to do those, so we had to get the kit in for that. So that was all. Those were the big days, and then the rest of the time kind of depended on. I mean, we had the locations and everything, but it just depended.
Yeah, I mean,
on
actually, some of the locations we found on the day we shot them, so we kind of made it up as we went along. I mean, that scene at the very end where JB and David are talking in the car, we chose our location on the day, I think, or the day before. We just made it up. So I think the whole creative process of making this film was one whereby we were trying to live in the moment and kind of create something out of the moment. So if it looks like it's being storyboarded, then I take that as a compliment.
Any other questions?
If you could go back and do it all again now, what you've learned, what would you do differently?
I wouldn't edit it. I don't know. Maybe get another producer as well. It's just
Yeah, get a producer. In fact, Miranda, you're a producer. You could have produced it. Yeah, I think that's the difficult thing, isn't it? Producing it and shooting it, and
exactly.
The creative process was like about 5% of it.
Yeah.
The rest of it was just firefighting most of the time. So.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Get somebody else to do it.
Do you think like you've paved the way for the new era of kind of international film shooting? Because in London, obviously, there was, I heard so many accents, at least 10 different accents in that film. And that's beautiful, having studied at the British Drama School and being a foreigner, and so it's difficult to get roles. This type of film is just multicultural, represents what London is all about.
Cool, yeah.
Great to see a sequel.
Oh, with you. Well, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you liked it. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was a very conscious decision to try and get as many different accents in there as possible, because that's certainly the reality that I live in London. I think the thing to me that unites people in Soho, possibly in the wider area of London, is the English language, and whether they're British speakers, whether they're British or I don't know any other nation in the world, then it kind of doesn't really register in me. It's just there's just people, and I guess that's why we were trying to get as many people in as possible. Kind of adds the colour of it, I think. I find it difficult to relate to films that are just one nationality, I think. It's because I live in a different world, I think.
Any other questions? Yes.
Watching it tonight, what was your favourite moment?
Your favourite moment?
What was your favourite moment of the film tonight?
Was that the favourite
In the
moment
film,
of
you
the
mean?
film or making the film?
Within the film.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I like the dance sequence at the very end of the film. It feels like the end of the film. So. And it comes really nicely to the music, coincidentally. And the dancers are wicked.
I like the moment where, especially tonight, where we're all together in the flat which is not my flat, and where David wakes up and Andrea sees him. I think that worked so well. Because there's this whole tension that builds during the whole film, and finally they're all together at that point. And I don't know, it's really hard for us to actually understand, because we've done it, we've shot it, so we don't look at it the same way. And you never know if it works until you're in the area, and I thought it worked, so that was great.
There were a lot of favorite moments. I was surprised by a lot of shots too, which I loved, because it's the first time I'm seeing it. So, yeah, I think the dance.
The dance.
Was okay.
Okay.
I think it was very okay, wasn't it, guys? And you? Who's going?
I think probably for me, I enjoyed shooting definitely in the kitchen scene because I had a lot of fun with that, and that was, there's just some nice camera moves there for me. And you get a cameraman in a stainless steel kitchen, he's happy. So that's where I'm happy.
What? Any other questions? Yes.
So what happens next? What are you going to do with the film and any other projects on the go?
Well, next I'm going to spend some time with my girlfriend. It's, she took over my life this film, sadly, but yeah, I want to spend some time with my girlfriend and then write more, I guess. Yeah.
I think there's planning another film set in Soho. Again, there's more to go out. Get out of Soho, we think. Well, I think. You think, John?
What's the title of that going to be?
Soho Joint.
Yeah, what? Soho Cigarette? Was it because... why the title Soho Cigarette?
I work in a restaurant, and in the restaurant world, everybody smokes, really. I think it's probably the same all in London, but if you pause for a minute to look around, the place is covered in chefs and waiters smoking.
Right.
And those, I used to refer to those as Soho Cigarettes, kind of pause in the moment, so it gives you a break in the day and you can see stuff that you wouldn't normally see. You're just rushing around. So, yeah, that was probably the reason why it was for me, but maybe other people have a different interpretation.
For me, no, it was the same. I mean, I smoked every day so many cigarettes just to get into the film. Yeah.
Yeah, I discovered how it is to have to shoot a scene and to have to smoke. And when you take like 20 shots, you have 20 takes to take, and the cigarette just goes off, and you have to light up another one and another one and another one, and you're thinking, I might quit.
So how easy was it to shoot the car scene where he was driving in the car?
It's quite easy to shoot out the back of the window, but when there were 4 people in the car, that was really difficult. We actually shot that separately, each person.
Okay.
That was a nightmare. Yeah, continuity was a nightmare. Yeah, it was quite easy to shoot that.
So what film were you using to shoot?
It was digital video.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how many cameras?
1.
Just one camera?
Gavin's like an octopus. A genius octopus.
Any other questions? Yes, lady.
What was the process of casting a car?
Casting the car.
Good question, I like
Yeah,
it.
yeah, that's a good one. It's actually funny enough that the film started with that car because Gavin used to own one of those cars, beautiful black version of one of those cars about 3 years ago, I think it was. And that kind of planted a seed. It's a great way to structure a film in London is to have a car in Central Road that can link various locations. So we were going to use that car, but then that car died. So we had to we ended up having to buy one actually. By the time it was written. The car that someone was going to lend us that used to belong to Phil Wayne apparently. And disappeared. So, that was...
Yeah, a few car issues, didn't we? We got one in
the car has actually just died. That car died 2 weeks ago. Sadly.
It wasn't because of Donna.
I'm not sure. She's still in there.
Any other questions? Yes.
That night on Old Compton Street, when I saw an old Mercedes being pulled over by about 10 police officers, what did you say to get out of that exactly?
No idea. That was. I think we told them we were filming.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, then we were shooting a scene in Soho, and we kept having to drive around the block in this Mercedes.
I was on the street and you were in the car, I think.
That's right.
just to get a passing shot, but there was every single time there was a shot that it's working, and then there'd be some pisshead in the shot and stumbling through. You go, no, go again. So like the 7th take, we got it, and then I was kind of hauled off by the police.
Yeah, because they thought we were cuckoo.
Yeah, and then we said, no, I'm just making a feature film. And they're like, oh, can we be in it? So.
No, that's right. Yeah, that's what we did. Gavin looks like a pimp, so they call him a we're in the Mercs. We look like we're looking for a pimp.
Any other questions? Yes.
Yeah, the music in the film is great. What was the process of working with musicians? Was it very collaborative?
Well, Jackson Scott and his band Melodios, they recorded all those tracks already, and I knew them through Soho and just asked him and the band if they were happy if we used the tracks, and luckily they said yes. Yeah, it's amazing. The music's amazing.
Any other questions?
You can buy the music on iTunes, by the way.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
What was written in that piece of paper that it was left behind in the car?
Yeah, good question.
What was written?
Someone was watching. Good.
Again, that's open to interpretation. I don't want to say anything.
That's how you're leaving it. It's open to interpretation.
Well, I think it needs to be these things open. Otherwise, you know.
What do you think was written on the piece of paper?
Maybe the rota or something.
It's a message for Dana.
Only David knows.
Okay. So, any advice for filmmakers out there and how to make a movie such as yours?
Save some money and go ahead and do it. So I remember reading, before embarking on this film, I remember reading an article Ben Weekly had written for the Evening Standard. The guy, he won Raindance actually, I think about 4 years ago. He made film Terrorists. And he'd written an article in the Evening Standard where they'd asked him that very question. And the very last sentence was, there's no excuse. And, I read that and thought, he's right.
Cool. Any other questions, guys? I think we should all say a round of applause for the creative arts.